Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video, or welcome back to the channel. Of course, in today's video, like the title states, we are going to be reacting to the ACC games that were played this weekend. We're going to talk about them, break them down, because we had a couple upsets in ACC that we have to talk about before we head into conference play with a couple of these teams. However, if you are new to the channel, you already know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Tomorrow, we will, of course, have our Big Ten reactions and predictions, and Wednesdays are always NFL prediction day. So stay tuned for that. Thursday, we'll do the same thing with SEC reactions and predictions, and then, of course, play our Road to Glory on Thursday. So lots of videos coming to the channel. If you guys are into that sort of thing, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. The Cowboys have announced that Cooper Beebe is out for 6 to 8 weeks. Of course, big blow to the Cowboys offensive line. Hopefully he can come back soon. The SEC did announce their game time. So did all the other conferences, which we will be talking about here when it comes to predictions. So stay tuned for that one. Hit that sub button. Leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. And without further ado, let us go ahead and predict these these ACC week number 3 matchups. Alright, so kicking us off here on Friday night, we had an absolute banger of a game, or Thursday night rather, we had a banger of a game between two ACC schools. However, this was not a conference game. NC State going into Wake Forest. This was a great matchup. Robbie Ashford played really well, 282 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes rather. The rushing game, Smithers for NC State was going off. NC State getting the job done thanks to Gulf Shores alumni and Ronnie Royal. Picked off Robbie Ashford there with a couple of minutes left in the ballgame to seal the deal for the NC State Wolfpack. Local boy getting the job done as NC State moves on to 3-0 on the year. A banger of a matchup on Thursday night. I hate I missed it. However, it looked awesome, and NC State is now 3-0 in conference play and could be a threat here in the near future to a couple of teams. Moving on to Friday, we of course had Colgate going into Syracuse. Syracuse getting the job done as expected. Engel, the quarterback for Syracuse, 5 touchdown passes, 382 passing yards, 1 receiving touchdown, of course, and 2 receiving touchdowns for their receivers as well. So Syracuse expected them to get the job done, and they are now 2-0 on the year, 2-0 at home as well, with that one loss being to the Tennessee Volunteers, who did fall to Georgia, which we'll talk about, of course, on Thursday. So stay tuned for that video. Clemson going into Georgia Tech. The upset of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Engineers couldn't even figure out how to get the goalposts outside of their football stadium. However, Clemson walks off Georgia Tech walks off number 10 ranked Clemson in college football. They are now 1-2 on the year. Georgia Tech is 3-0. I called this one, ladies and gentlemen. I predicted Georgia Tech would upset Clemson at home, and they delivered. Haynes King, 20 of 28, 211 passing yards on the day, a rushing touchdown, 109 yards rushing for the quarterback as well. And, of course, getting the receivers involved, the defense stepping up big time there at the end of the fourth quarter was what Georgia Tech needed, and they got the job done at home. They showed this one on the video board at Auburn when I was at the game, which it was awesome. The crowd went crazy. Georgia Tech walking off Clemson, getting the job done at home in the upset of the day. Moving on, we had William and Mary going into Virginia. Virginia getting the job done. They are now 2-1 on the year as expected. 165 passing yards, 1 touchdown for the Virginia quarterback, while the running back rather for Virginia had 3 touchdowns on the day as well, rushing wise. So Virginia getting the job done as expected. SMU going into Missouri State. SMU bouncing back after that loss to Baylor that past weekend. Jennings, 281 yards, 1 touchdown pass on the day. TJ Harden getting the job done for SMU on the ground. 2 touchdown passes as well as 100 yards receiving for the wide receiver, or rushing for the running back, as Harden gets the job done, and the SMU Mustangs are now 2-1 on the year. Nice bounce back win for them. Pitt at West Virginia. We already talked about this one. However, we will reiterate it. Pittsburgh did blow that game in the fourth quarter. Let West Virginia come back. West Virginia might be a big threat here in this Big 12 conference, so expect them to be on point. Richmond going into North Carolina. UNC getting the job done. They are now 2-1. Gio Lopez, the South Alabama transfer quarterback, of course, 10 for 18, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Did get taken out, as the North Carolina Tar Heels are now, of course, 2-1 to start the year. Old Dominion going into Virginia Tech and absolutely destroying the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now, they did fire their head coach this past week. If you guys did not see that, Virginia Tech and UCLA both fired their head coaches, as they are off to 0-3 starts. However, Old Dominion's quarterback, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown for the Old Dominion running back, as they pretty much led the way in every stat category, which should not happen if you are a Power 4 type of school, as Old Dominion gets the job done on the road to improve to 2-1 on the season. Duke going into Tulane. My boy Jamison Roberts was actually at this game on a visit. He finally gets the offer that he wanted. Talked a little bit about that at the Saraland and Spanish Fort game, of course. However, Duke's quarterback, Mendoza, 3 touchdowns on the day, 313 yards. Not a bad day for him. However, it was the Tulane quarterback and his legs. 4 rushing touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you heard that correctly. This game was a banger. Tulane is now 3-0 on the year. Again, a team that is expected to represent the group of 5 in the college football playoff. Tulane gets the job done at home against a ACC foe in the Duke Blue Devils. Moving on to a absolute banger of a game to close out Saturday night slate in conference play. Minnesota at Cal. This was fun. Cal's quarterback, 3 touchdown passes on the day. Really didn't pick it up until that fourth quarter. However, Cal got the job done. Actually watched this game from pretty much start to finish. It was an absolute good game for the most part there. Cal getting the job done at home, and they are now 3-0 as Brian Harsin as their offensive coordinator. And then last but certainly not least, how can we forget Boston College at Stanford. Andrew Luck finally gets a win at Stanford as they do beat Boston College. This was not an ACC matchup as well. So, again, this was scheduled way before conference realignment happened. Stanford getting the job done at home. Langman, of course, the quarterback, led the way for Boston College with 333 passing yards, but it wasn't enough as that Stanford defense held their quarterback, and they get the job done this weekend. However, you guys, let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. I'm going to hop off, it's edited so you guys can watch it on time. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. If I do not see you in ACC predictions and, of course, our NFL reaction videos. So stay tuned for that one. Hit that sub button. Leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.